Well, hello everybody. It is the first full week of this year, of this decade, this month, if you will. And I'm super excited to be here tonight, but I am going to share this in a couple of groups because we're going to be talking about the 3 things you need to stop doing in order to grow your business. So while we're just kind of getting started, if you're popping on, love to know where you are watching from and how are your holidays? How were the holidays? I don't know about you, but I thoroughly enjoyed them, and now it's so much fun to get back to normal. That's what I kind of feel like. It's just like, let's get back to normal. And I was kind of joking around with an email that's going out to my list, and I was super productive with my keyboard, but my Fitbit is wondering if I'm alive because it was just so used to me constantly being on the go and on the move. So let me just share this. Share. And let's see. But this is gonna be a great topic tonight. And I can't do that. Okay, I was trying to do something else also. So feel free. This is going to be like one of those conversations that is going to spark a lot of questions. So feel free to ask me any questions that just kind of like come up for you. So here are the 3 things. I'm just going to give you like these 3 things, and then we're going to dive really deep into each of them. One is about picking a lane. And not just picking a lane, but staying in your lane. And I'll get more into that. And if you're not sure which lane, it's just best that you try out a lane, if you will. And that'll all make sense, like as I dive a little bit deeper into each of them. Number 2, stop doing everything. Stop doing everything. Stop saying yes to everything. Stop saying yes to everybody. And we're going to get more into that as well. By not doing everything, prevent burnout, and you'll also stay in love with your business, if not fall more in love with your business. And number 3 is a hard one to grasp and to swallow, but it is to stop ignoring your poor sales skills, because without sales skills, you can't say, hey, if people really want my product or they love the way I write, they're going to hire me. Attracting people to you, attracting people to jump on a call with you. And from the call, you've got to be really good at, asking really good questions and really having a good sales call, because life is sales. And I don't care if you sit there and tell me, yeah, but I don't want to sell. I don't feel comfortable selling. And that's really what I'm hearing. And I hear this a lot with my private clients. Let's find a way that sales is fun and it feels good. In other words, it doesn't feel icky. It doesn't feel inauthentic. It just feels like you. And there is a way to do that. And I kind of consider all of these things is like building a muscle. Getting stronger, and like right now, some of like maybe your sales muscle, or maybe you're doing everything muscle. It's just, like your doing everything muscle is really strong, but being able to delegate and pass things off, like that muscle is really weak. Your sales muscle, your pitching, your asking is really weak. If you're one of my clients, you know exactly what I'm talking about, that I challenge you to start making the ask, making the offer to people to get on a call with you, to work with you one-on-one. Maybe you have like a Facebook group. Hey, you're inviting them, like, come into my group, come into my circle. Like, let me share stuff with you. So I'd love to know like where you are watching from. I want to say hello to Talene. She's down in nice, warm North Carolina. Well, maybe it's not warm for you, but it is definitely warmer than it is up here. So let's just kind of like dive into picking a lane. And you know that I'm a big advocate for picking a lane because if you're too vague, and what I mean by picking a lane is niching. What's your specialty, Who do you work with? What do you do? What's, like all of it, like you got to know what that stuff is. And even if you know what it is, I want you to share that with people. Be able to tell people. If you're at some sort of a networking event, or even if you're talking to somebody on a Zoom call and they ask what you do, and if you start to get that deer in the headlight look, like, oh my God, I'm confused. I don't understand. That's way too much. I'm overwhelmed just listening to this. Then you know that we need to work on the niche. We need to work on how to communicate that, because you really want people to get it. So here's a common one and nothing against health coaches, by the way. I just want to say that up front. If you've ever heard me speak, I use this example often. And sorry about that. I use this example a lot, because give me a thumbs up or a heart if you know more than one health coach. And if you're watching this on the replay, just type in replay and let me know, because I always ask my audience this particular question: how many people know more than one health coach? And I usually unanimously, I see multiple hands go up in the audience, or when I'm doing like a group program, when I talk about this like on a live, a lot of people know more than one health coach. Who needs health? Who needs to have good health? Every single one of us. And so I realize, yes, a health coach can help everybody. But here's what happens when you are a health coach and you say, or whatever your business is, if you could help a huge audience, that doesn't help me as the person who's listening to you, narrow down, okay, so you can help everybody. So I should, it's weird for me to refer everybody to you. So that would mean I could turn to the person that was next to me and say, hey, you probably need to work with this person. So no, just being very specific, you work with postpartum moms, you work with adolescents, you work with people who, are trying to go keto, are trying to go vegan. I had a friend who actually, she did a lot of bodybuilding competitions, and she actually helped people come back to eating, from competition to, I'm going to call it a regular diet. She helped people make that transition smoother. So when you hear that, I am a nutrition coach and I help people transition from competition eating, competition dieting, to their normal life. You get a picture of who this person needs to work with. They're working with people that are bodybuilders, that are, you might see these people in the gym. You might overhear people say, yeah, I'm going to be doing a competition, but I hear the hard part is getting back to normal food, and how that it kind of disrupts your digestive system. Oh, I know exactly who you need to talk to. I need to introduce you to this particular person. I can picture that person. I had a client once, and she was a member of BNI. Now, she did payroll. She was a salesperson for a payroll service. How many people can she help? She can help a ton of companies, be able to streamline their payroll. So what did she do? And this was a brilliant idea that we came up with. So she got up and she actually, there are 52 weeks in the year. She came up with this today is A, and she would come up with accountants, actuaries. I mean, she would just kind of go down the list of different A occupations and A type companies that her audience, her BNI group, could refer her to. And then the following week, as you can imagine, would be B, and then C, and that. So she basically could go through the alphabet twice in a year. But there's so many companies that need payroll. But as somebody who's listening, it's oh, I know an accountant that I think just I remember them talking about that they needed somebody to help them do payroll, which an accounting company might actually do their own payroll. But you know what you kind of get what I'm talking about. But it's also a great way for people to refer people for speakers. You know, if you're a meeting planner and you just had a health coach who spoke about how to transition into vegan, you know, smoothly. And so now I know, like, there's a health conference coming up, like I can refer that person over there. You know, and your audience members, when you're speaking in front of them, when they know specifically what you do, they're able to refer you. So this is what I mean by stop being all over the highway. I want you to pick a lane and stay in the lane. Now, here's something that I tell a lot of my private clients and a lot of people who come to me when, you know, like sometimes I do intensives to help people like really nail down their niche. And sometimes people are like, yeah, but I'm interested in a few things. So, okay, date your niche. Just, you know, like we don't have to put it in stone. It doesn't have to, you don't have to do it forever. But let's come over here and let's like date this lane. Let's date this niche and see how you feel working with these specific people. And if it doesn't work out, then we can sort of like do a little pivot. And let's move over here and let's like date this lane. A lot of times I tell my clients who are getting into speaking, you know, sometimes you don't know what kind of an audience is perfect. Maybe you do work best with engineers, with that left brain. Maybe it's more of a right brain, but sometimes you won't know until you speak in front of that audience and see how they interact with you. Maybe you're great with an all-male audience. Maybe it needs to be an all-female audience. I have a friend of mine, Steve Gamlin. If you are watching this, I'll have to tag him in this afterwards. But he is phenomenal in front of female audiences. Now, a lot of times that there are women-only conferences and they haven't picked him as a speaker, which is such a big mistake because he is phenomenal with female audiences. They eat it up and they just love them. I just want to say hello to Talene, and Talene says the alphabet is an interesting narrow down the everybody issue. Exactly. So let's move on to number 2. And this is that don't do everything. You know, because I want you to stay in love with your business. I don't want you to burn out when you start doing everything. So it's about getting support. So this not doing everything is actually in two parts. So I just kind of like stepping back here. It's about 2 parts. And one of these parts is about getting support. One about, you know, maybe it's time to hire a coach, hire a mentor, hire somebody who's going to help you get from A to Z a whole lot faster than doing it on your own. And number 2 is getting team help, like maybe hiring your first VA, maybe hiring the next team member, such as like maybe a graphic artist or somebody who's going to help you like edit your videos, like whatever that task is that, oh my God, like I don't want to do this anymore. This takes up too much of my time. It's really taking me away from putting out fires instead of like doing the work, staying in my zone of genius. So finding like that kind of support, both let me hire somebody to help move me quicker, and also somebody who can help me in like the behind the scenes in my business. So that's part 1. The second one of this to stop doing everything is one that a lot of entrepreneurs I see, they kind of pass over. And it's kind of a big mistake to pass over this, especially when you think like, hey, I'm just starting out, or I've only been in business like a couple of years. But what are the things that you do over and over and over again? You know, what can we put in place in your business that's a system? Like, what's the process for doing it? Like, take, for example, when a new client comes on, they hire me, like, there's like a checklist, you know, because I don't want to miss any of these parts. And so I'm able to hand that checklist, like, to my team members. And here's that email that needs to go out, you know, like, and I will edit, like, you know, like, hey, here's what I want it to say. You know, maybe the next email goes out like a few days later. You know, so there's a process so that nothing gets missed. And it also makes it really easy, really simple and seamless. And it's all about, I want to make sure that when people hire me as their coach, that they have a beautiful experience. That's so important to me. And that beautiful experience needs to start when they say yes. So by having this system in place, I'm never, I myself am not wondering, oh my God, like where's the contract? Like how do we make the payments? Like everything is just set up. Where's the gift that we send to the client? Have they been given their choice of books that they want? Like whatever, sometimes I send random gifts. Sometimes it's in the beginning, sometimes it's in the middle, but sometimes it's just a surprise because it's about an experience that I want my private clients to have with me. So not doing everything is divided into two parts. One is about hiring support for yourself and for your business. And then the second part is what systems and processes can you put in place right from the beginning so that you just grow naturally and it feels good. Because I'm all about it's being in business. If you're going to be in business for yourself, it might as well feel good. It might as well be fun. So let's see. The third one is the hard one to take. And this is the stop ignoring your poor sales skills. A lot of times I hear people say, yeah, but I don't want to sell. But let me tell you, life is sales and you are selling also. You're selling every day. I'm curious, I just want to ask, and if you're watching the replay or you're watching this live with me right now, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not at all and 10 being extremely yes, how comfortable are you with your sales skills? How comfortable are you with sales? I'll just give you a moment to answer that question. How comfortable are you with sales? That's a tough question, and if you're getting people on the phone, but you're not closing them and you don't have a great close ratio, then that's sort of a sign. That might mean we need to work on that. If you're not getting people on the phone, you're not attracting them enough, with your content, with your videos, if you're not asking. And I see this is one that a lot of my private clients struggle with, is making the ask. They usually say, it doesn't feel good. Well, there's a way to make it feel good. So if you're one of my clients, you're probably nodding your head. Yep, she really does this. I do this exercise. You're going to make 1 ask a day. So that means by the time we have our next call, you're going to have 7 asks. Excuse me. And then I up it. So it's kind of like going to the gym and you're doing bicep curls with 5-pound weights. Well, then I'm going to up it to 7-pound weights. So now it's 2 asks a day. So you went from 7 now to 14. And then, yep, you guessed it, it's going to turn into 3. And then it turns into 4. You're making 4 asks a day. And let me tell you, the more that you pitch, that's what I call making the ask. The more that you do it, the easier it gets. It's very uncomfortable in the beginning because the muscle's weak, that's all. So you need to make the ask, and it gets easier and easier. And at first, it's it just doesn't feel natural. But once you start doing this every day and constantly, it's more than 1, you're building yourself up to 4, it becomes so much easier. And it sounds so natural. I was literally at a monthly mastermind that I run. It's a live event that I run once a month. And, I'll be up in front of 20 people and you just make the ask. Hey, if you're wondering how to get more leads, how to make more sales, get out of debt, increase your business, hop on a call with me. Let's talk about your business and how we can get you more leads easier, how we can get you more sales. Let's find out where the gap is. and I will share with you how I support my private clients. Making that, and just letting people know, like, hey, I'm available. Like my coaching business is not full, because a lot of times if you don't make the ask, whatever business that you're in, let's just say that you're a web designer. If you don't make the ask, people just think, oh, you're busy. I don't really want to be on a wait list. People make assumptions and they make stories up all day long. So make the ask. Let them know you can jump on a call with me. And you will see people that will raise their hand. Now, also, if you're one of my private clients, then you also know that, excuse me, then, if you're one of my private clients, you know that you when you're speaking, I was losing my train of thought there for a second. When you're speaking, you've got to have a call to action at the end. And that's where your ask is. And make the ask. Hey, if you want to jump on a call with me, my ebook is for sale. If you want to get my opt-in, if you want to get this checklist, all you have to do is book a call with me, or just raise your hand, or, the brochures are in the back. You make the ask and you will see people raise their hand and nod their heads like, yeah, I want that. But unless you make the ask, they don't know that it's available to them. So it becomes so much easier. So if you're wondering, you're looking in this online space and you're like, wow, how are these people all having 10K months and, and 20K months, is it true? Can it really happen? But it's about making the ask, pitching, making sure that one, you pick a lane so that you know who you're working with, so that you know who you can serve, especially when you make the ask. So selling is not sleazy, or I should say it doesn't have to be sleazy. It can be something that is just very natural. It's all part of the conversation so that people know that they can hire you. So give me a thumbs up if this is all yes, this is all resonating, you feel drawn to this, yeah, I want to learn how to do more sales this year. It's 2020. This is the year, this is the decade that I am going to take my business to the next level. I'm going to start my new business. I'm going to start speaking. I'm going to get on stages, whatever it is. Give me on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being an absolute yes, I want to do this. I'm sipping my lemon water. So, it's real fun. But I've been hearing a lot from my audience members, both in my Facebook group, Entrepreneurs Making an Impact, and people just saying hey, Laurie-Ann, when are you going to do that sales training again? So I'm just, if you're watching, and you want to get on the wait list for the sales training, just type down in there. Just type in there, wait list, sales, or sales wait list. Let me know that you're interested, because I'll make sure that you get on the list. I'll make sure that I get a link out to you. But I am seriously considering and planning in the next, in this first quarter, that we're going to do a sales training. I did it last summer. It went very, very well. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I think I need to do it again. And especially since it's the beginning of the year, I think it's the perfect time to do this particular training and get you guys selling more, get you guys closing more, get more leads, get more yeses. Why not have a happy checkbook? So, what else did I want to say? Yeah, okay. So I wanted to. I'm just checking my little list here to make sure that I mentioned everything that I wanted for all three of these. So remember, they were number 1 was to pick a lane, stay in your lane. I don't care if you have to date the lane, but I just want you to stay in a lane. Number 2 is stop doing everything. That's either hiring somebody to work with you, hiring somebody for your business, possibly doing both, and also coming up with systems and processes for your business. And then the 3rd is stop ignoring your terrible sales skills and get help. So, if your goal for 2020 is to make more money, pay off more debt, get more visibility, get more leads, more clients, then book a call with me. It doesn't cost anything for us to have a conversation to see if we'd be a good fit for each other and if you'd be a great person for one of my programs. I opened up some space in my roster. I have space for a couple of more clients, and I know that they're going to go fast because people keep telling me like, yep, they kept telling me like, yep, in the new year, yep, they're going to do this. So if you want to know how I support clients and how they get visible, I've had one of my clients was actually on TV. I believe it was 6 times from New Year's Eve to New Year's Day doing small segments on the news, on the morning show. That's great visibility. If you are looking for visibility, because TV is a form of speaking, let's get you speaking and more visible and as positioned as the expert in your field. Let's, book that call with me. I will put that right over here. Here we go. It's bit.ly/chatwithLA, and you can book a call with me and we can have a conversation about your business and how I can support you in achieving your dreams and making your business what you want your business to be right here in 2020. So I'm just going to pause here for a moment and see if you guys have any questions and go from there. I don't know about you, but I have had a fun New Year's and just holiday season. It's really nice that we're back to normal. I'm so excited about being back to normal and having just like my schedule again. I've got some great things that are going to be coming up also. Like the sales training. I've got some great Facebook Lives that are going to be lined up here for you as well. And it's just going to be a great year that's going to unfold. So let's see. I'm just giving you guys a second to ask any questions. And if there are no questions, then hey, I'm just going to say, hey, have a great Monday night. Have a great week. And I'll talk to you guys next Monday. And till then, if you have any questions, feel free just to pop them down and I will be sure to come back and answer them. Have a great week.